Getting into synchronicity, how to tune your mind to meaning. In The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, we first meet Walter half awake in his own life, a man who lives in headlines, daydreams, and deadlines. This is the outer world at full volume, where routine replaces wonder and imagination becomes a secret exile. Synchronicity begins here, in contrast, waiting for the moment when attention softens and meaning starts to whisper through. You've had it happen. You think of someone, and they call. You notice a symbol, and suddenly it's everywhere. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that feel like the universe is nudging you. But what if these moments aren't magic tricks? What if they're invitations, gentle taps on the shoulder from the unseen synchronicity, the bridge between inner and outer worlds? Carl Jung wrote that synchronicity is an causal connecting principle, a meaningful coincidence between inner and outer events that cannot be explained by cause and effect. In this stillness, Walter becomes that definition in motion, a mind beginning to sense its reflection in the world outside the glass. It's as though the universe is breathing just a few seconds ahead of him, waiting for him to notice the rhythm they already share. For Jung, these acausal connections were not random accidents of fate. They were signals from a deeper order, a pattern that joins psyche and matter in a single, breathing symmetry. When the mind and the world briefly move in tune, it isn't coincidence, it's correspondence. Those rare moments when an inner state, a thought, dream, or emotion, aligns with an external event in a way that feels charged with meaning, yet has no logical cause and effect link. For Jung, these acausal connections hinted at a hidden order beneath ordinary reality, a bridge between the psyche and the physical world, where mind and matter briefly move in sync, revealing that meaning itself might be the fabric of the universe. When your psyche meets the universe halfway, something more than chance begins to shimmer through the cracks of ordinary life. A thought aligns with an event, a dream foreshadows a meeting. A symbol repeats until you finally turn your head and see it. Sometimes the world sends a message small enough to fit in your palm, a sentence that feels written for you, long before you arrive to read it. It's the kind of moment that collapses distance, when thought and circumstance seem to recognize each other. Not cause and effect, but a quiet alignment, the inner current, and the outer tide moving in the same direction. Synchronicity isn't about control, it's about flow, when meaning moves through everything, speaking in its own silent language. Every transformation begins with a tremor, that split second when fear and purpose collide. Walter feels it now, the old life tugging behind him, the unknown calling ahead. The mind says stay, the soul whispers go. Meaning doesn't wait for certainty, it waits for motion. When Walter leaps, the unseen answers. This is how the inner world becomes real, not by thinking it, but by stepping into it. Guidance doesn't shout. It waits, folded in the ordinary, until we are ready to open it. That's synchronicity in motion, not fate pulling the strings, but awareness stepping in when life changes course. Because when the inner is ready, the outer appears. Sometimes the delay, the detour, the wrong turn is the path. The neuroscience of synchronicity. Your brain is a pattern-seeking machine. Every second it filters millions of bits of data, deciding what deserves your attention. That gatekeeper is the reticular activating system. When you focus on something, a question, a symbol, an intention, your brain tunes your perception to notice it. When Sean reveals that the missing photograph was never missing, it was always with Walter, he glimpses the hidden architecture behind his own choices. In that instant, Walter Mitty stops being an adventure film and becomes a parable about perception, awareness, and the mystery of design. Jung would say this is when the ego encounters the self, when coincidence reveals consciousness wearing a disguise. It's a mirror of our own unseen patterns, the space between choice and destiny where synchronicity moves. You don't create coincidences, you collaborate with them. Your awareness and the world enter a feedback loop of meaning. What we call coincidence might just be consciousness, focused and amplified. How to get into synchronicity. Step 1. Slow the noise. Synchronicity whispers. It never shouts. Silence, solitude, and stillness let subtle patterns emerge. Step 2. Ask a living question. Don't demand an answer, invite a dialogue. Ask, what am I meant to notice today? The question itself tunes your attention. Step 3. Record the sparks. Write them down, the numbers, the songs, the names, the times. Over weeks, meaning reveals itself like constellations connecting stars. Step 4. Trust the feeling. Real synchronicities hum with energy, awe, resonance, that chill that says, pay attention. After his journey, Walter reconnects, quietly, naturally. Synchronicity refuses to fade. It reasserts itself until the message is received. Meaning doesn't vanish, it waits. The more you notice, the more alive reality becomes. When the inner world finally aligns, the outer world rearranges to meet it. In Walter Mitty, imagination becomes reality, and attention becomes love. This is synchronicity fulfilled when consciousness and life move as one. Maybe the universe doesn't speak in words. Maybe it speaks in echoes. And when you listen closely enough, it starts speaking through you. Fate or flow? Share your synchronicity story below.